you're not allowed to be concerned. You're not allowed to air an opinion if you're losing. You have to stick with through ticking and all this bullshit. People are paying big money to go watch football games. Welcome back to the Cap Doc. I seen a video this morning on Twitter, a little snippet video where Van Dijk he was being interviewed by I'm not sure, was it the BT team or the TNT team? Wayne Rooney was there, Robbie Fowler, Daniel Sturridge, I think that, or Tia Walcott might have been there. But I haven't seen the clip yet, but you know, I've seen the snippet where like Rooney, he was getting kind of a dig in at Rooney because Rooney was saying he was lacking leadership in their last games. Now look, they're professional footballers or ex-professional footballers, and they're entitled to their opinion. And I think Liverpool should deservedly, you know, because Liverpool won last night and won against Aston Villa, and I think sometimes people, the true believers or the people that will stick with them through thick and thin, which we all do, but the ones who say, "No, we can't believe you were giving out about Liverpool," you know, like yeah, you know, during that 5 or 6 game loss. But as fans, people are concerned, and it's absolutely mental to think that they shouldn't be concerned. You know, it happens. It's not as if every team can't win every game. But if you go on a run like that and you're champions and you're maybe going for the league and just have to win on 5 over 5, even though we weren't playing well, of course people is going to have to come into criticism. Of course fans are going to be concerned. So I'm just interested to see. I'm going to put it on here now, this interview, and see what it's all about. But yeah, look, we won 2 games last night. Or sorry, we won Real Madrid and we won Aston Villa. It's not over. Like you know, Liverpool need to push on. Do we expect them to win the league? No. Do we expect them to challenge for the league? Liverpool should be challenged for the league every season. So if Liverpool go through a form of losing 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7, whatever, you have to be concerned as a fan. And if you're not, you're an idiot. And that's simple as that. You can cheerlead all you want, like, but if you're absolutely a Liverpool fan and you're losing 6-7 games and you're not concerned, then you're an idiot. I'm sorry. But anyways, let's check this out.
Does the outside noise affect you, Fergie, or are you just happy plodding along to do what you need to do and trying to put people right?
I think all of you know here that you're dealing with obviously a squad of 25 players, a lot of young players, a couple older players like myself, and everyone lives a different life. So I can say, like, for me personally, like, it doesn't affect me, but obviously I'm dealing as a captain with players that might be affected about it. So you have to...
Has the criticism and some of it been fair, do you think?
Of course, just if you lose a game as a Liverpool player 4 or 5 in a row, then there's a fair criticism. That is absolutely normal.
Well, that's what I'm happy to hear, because I didn't know going into this was he going to be, like, you know, almost giving out to fans or and pundits are going to do their job anyways, but like, you know, that, you know, you were over the top or that, but he doesn't seem to be saying it here. But that's the impression I got before I looked at the video. But anyway, I'm going to see what it's all about. But that's fair enough, exactly, and I'm delighted he said it. But when other people say it, and you see it on X a lot, you have the other Liverpool fans coming in giving out about them being concerned, which is just stupid.
In that sense, but I think it's over the top at times as well at that point. But listen, that's because we live in a world that with so many platforms, so many...
I'd love to know what over the top is. Now, what's over the top to me? What would it be? Calling players shit? I don't really go on and call players shit. I'd say if they're not performing, they'll be performing. What's over the top? Maybe looking for Slot's head straight away. I wouldn't be doing that. Have I seen people saying it? Yeah, but you're always going to get a minority of people of doing that. I was more concerned, with Slot's team selection, our football, and Salah's performances. Salah performed brilliantly against Aston Villa. The football we've been playing hasn't been great, and that's no mystery. It's a fact. So when people are concerned, they're going to say what they have to say. And I think over the top would be a bit more extreme. But I don't know. I've seen people giving out. I've seen people say maybe a bit too far, but you're going to get that. But I don't think saying we're playing bad football is over the top. We're not. Like, you pointed out how brilliant we're playing. Just point it out like you can't. This last night was the best performance we put in all season. We played well against Aston Villa as well, but last night was our best performance, which is great. It looks like we might get it. But look, it's only 2 games, and this is what annoys me. It's like, no, we beaten Aston Villa. No, look, we beaten Madrid. As if that's it, we're going to win the league. No, you have to do that over the whole season. There's no point in piping up again after 2 games. Maybe I want more out of Liverpool. Maybe I'm expecting too much, but Liverpool are there and thereabouts for the last since Klopp came in. So yes, and they're spending the money, and they're at the top or at the pinnacle, with the top 3, top 4 teams in England. So yes, you're going to expect it. And if there's any dip in form, not 1 game or 2 games, that can happen. That's football. But if you get 5 or 6, there's no such thing as over the top. Well, maybe there is. I'm saying calling for a head, maybe, but there's not. Jesus, you can't not listen to. Be like, oh no, I can't listen to that. That's bullshit. Like, these guys are getting fucking 200,000-300,000 a week. Fuck that. Come on.
People can say stuff and will be picked up and made bigger than what else. But I think it's good that especially ex-players that play at the highest level, played at the top, that dealt with difficult moments as well, to put also a lot of things in perspective, I think.
I'm not saying it no more because I think I've spared them on. I think we've put them on a winning streak. But no, I think when you win the Premier League, and I think what I've said, it was fair, when you win the Premier League and then you go on a run where you lose 3-4 games in a row, which you don't expect from Liverpool over the last few years. And then as Virgil as you as the captain, I think that's your opportunity then to go and lead the players in, and that's what I was saying. I think that happens in football, and I think the response has been great from Virgil, from the team. So
I think if you would watch games, then I would definitely take the responsibility. I think the comment about that I signed my new deal and then it's like, that's it, and I'll let it slide. I think that was a bit, but that's my personal opinion.
But do you use things like that? Does that
fire you?
Yeah, I think this is with the Wayne Rooney saying. I've seen that comment a few weeks ago saying that Van Dijk should be leading the team more in this bad spell. Look, I said it before. He can be playing brilliant, and I think he's been playing brilliant. Now, has the defence been brilliant? No, but he's 1 out of 4, and it's hard to get a performance out of all your players all the time. So I have to be fair on that towards Van Dijk, but yeah, I mean, I've seen people again with this video. I've seen people saying Wayne Rooney, he went quiet. He's a pundit. Like, he's not going to have it out with him in front of everybody here. Like, so it's fair game. Like, it's just his comment B, and Van Dijk's not happy with it. It's just his opinion, and that's good enough to move on. But yeah, let's see.
I want to perform for the team, for the club, for each and every one that will support us through thick and thin. And when we go through a tough time as a team, when we lose in games that obviously unfortunate that didn't happen too many times, then it hurts me so much. And I want to turn this around.
Now, I'd love to know is when people say thick and thin, follow us through thick and thin. So if Liverpool lost 5-6 games, which they have, what's like not supporting? Is that like turning off the television, not watching them no more? Is that like not turning up at games? What do they want from them? Like, because the fans who, if you say it, the ones who's not supporting them through thick and thin, they still want them to win the game. They're still going to watch the game. They're still going to go to the games. And they want them to win. They're going to cheer when they score a goal. So I don't understand supporting them through thick and thin. You're a fan or you're not, and you're always going to go. If you're saying Van Dijk needs to be dropped, or if you're saying Slot needs to be sacked, or if you're saying, he needs to go, he's shy, or he's fucking useless, get rid of, all this shit talk. Yeah, maybe that's a bit over the top. But I think there's a line between fans who's concerned and the ones they say is over the top. But I still think both sides of that can have genuine concerns. They might just express it differently, that's all. But yeah, I mean, that's just easy. Look, we won 2 games. Are we back? Who knows? We'll see at the weekend against Man City how well we perform. If we go on to beat Man City, brilliant. If we could not, I mean, it wouldn't it be great? They could turn around and say, now look, we're back in form. But then, without being in that bad, they have this bad patch of playing football, Liverpool, the 5-6 games. So they had to have a turnaround. They had to have something maybe to be angry about, something annoyed about. And I felt that against Aston Villa. It felt like they were up for it. It felt like Salah was up for it. Maybe Salah was hearing the criticism. Maybe he needed to start getting his foot in because he didn't look like it. And that's what players wants to see. Sorry, that's what fans want to see. But yeah, I think there's a fine line. I think that's the thing, not just with Liverpool, it's obviously with every club. You're not allowed to be concerned. You're not allowed to air an opinion if you're losing. You have to stick with through ticking and all this bullshit. People are paying big money to go watch football games, especially Irish people if they go over there. Now, I'm not saying the fans based in England are not paying big money to go watch matches, but I know if I want to go to a Liverpool game, I'm paying big money to go see that game for the ticket, and so is other fans. They're supporting the club, and they should be entitled to be concerned. Doesn't mean that they're right. Doesn't mean that everything they say is right. But if you should be allowed to be concerned as a fan, especially if you're giving into the club, you're paying to the club, you're like, you know, supporting them, buying their jerseys, buying their gear. You know, you're feeding into it. You know, you're a fan. You're entitled to say air your opinions. Doesn't mean you're right, as I said, but they're entitled to it. And they shouldn't be told. Oh, you're not supporting us through ticking in and all that bullshit, you know. Because I know the people, and this is life, and this is what annoys me. If you have a few section of the fans that's like pissed off with the results, and you have people pointing them, you can't say that because, you know, you need to support us through this shit talk, right? Give it another 5 or 6 games if they keep losing. Watch them change their tune. And then what? They're not going to keep doing that. They're not going to keep saying, we have to support us through ticking in. What if they lose 10? You'll see them changing. So what's the difference? It's not as if they're going to be happy all the time about it. So, yeah, there's this bullshit thing around. If you're losing games, you know, and the fans are unhappy, you know, there's these straps thrown, but I think it's bollocks.
And because I also see the hard work we put in each and every day, I see the quality that we have, and.
Can we talk specifically about defence, because that's back-to-back clean sheets and 10 games before
After
that.
forever, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't achieve that.
No,
so
yeah.
a great performance from Conor Bradley tonight as
Fantastic.
well. How much does that please you?
Well, I think that's the basis of hopefully success, you know. I think you can see at the moment Arsenal is flying, and it's down to obviously having that basis of...
I'm just looking here at the results. Like, you look up the Crystal Palace here, okay? And then people are annoyed that some Liverpool fans are concerned. Now, I get there's people over the top. I get that. But you're telling me you shouldn't be concerned after that Crystal Palace... the Crystal Palace game down at the EFL here. Now, look at that. Look from that game up. Red, red, green, red, 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 red. And you're telling me that Liverpool fans are telling other Liverpool fans to pipe down or calm down. Come on.
Clean sheets, not conceding chances. And I think that's what we had as well. And that's what we're trying to find back. Consistency, start with defending. We have the quality to hurt anyone in possession, on the break. It starts with defending, how much you put in. And today you saw the hard work. We saw it as well against Villa. We didn't create too many open chances back then, but we managed to find a win. And we have to keep going. And Sunday is going to be another difficult one. And we have to be ready for that as well.
We're right about the defence here. If Liverpool can keep clean sheets, if Liverpool get to their defence right, they're going to score a goal. I always said if Liverpool, at Anfield especially, but to be fair, in the last few seasons, if Liverpool is playing against Superman, Banana Man, Spider-Man, and all the superheroes, and there's 11 superheroes on the pitch, and Liverpool is playing against them, Liverpool is going to score a goal. Doesn't matter. They're going to score a goal. So if Liverpool can keep clean sheets, Liverpool is going to score goals. If they get the defence right, which, to be fair, they were last night they gave Madrid nothing. They were absolutely super. They gave them nothing. Brilliant. Villa, small little times here and there. I remember recalling off the top of my head, the first 10 or 15 minutes they were a bit open, but they got it right and brilliant. I think, looking at the last 2 games, and it's easy to point it out, we look very good in defence with Robertson back there. He looks like he got a new lease of life, and he's brilliant. He's so committed anyway. He's great. He's a great player. And Bradley, and as I said, it's in Bradley. You just know it. I mean, he has the fire. He absolutely represents Liverpool in their heart and passion. You know, as a player, that he does that on the pitch. And obviously, you have Van Dijk and Konate. I think that's perfect. I think actually, and as I said, it's easy to point it out. I think that's our defence. I think that's our starting defence. The only worry is obviously, and it's sticking out, is we get an injury. But yeah, we'll score goals if we can keep defence clean. Like we didn't, even the games we lost there, look at it, we scored goals. It's just the defending. But look, Van Dijk is top notch, as we know. And hopefully we start to keep more clean sheets.
Perfect platform, though, that you've given yourselves of Saturday and tonight heading to the Etihad.
Yeah, but we all know how football works. It can change overnight but we focus now on recovery. It sounds boring, but it is what it is. We recover it tomorrow, we're back at it. And then full focus will be on a tough one against a very informed striker as well, like tonight.
Virg, did you get any opportunity to see Trent before the game? There was a lot of talk of the conditions he would have coped tonight. Have you managed to see him, or are you going to get a chance to see him?
No.
Virg, talking about the new signings that have come into the club, played many big games so far, moments like tonight, what sort of feeling will that give them, considering all the noise we're talking about?
I think massive, I think it's about for them, like, just show what you've been doing, already for all those years. Like, Florian started today on the left wing, and
the new signings is going to be very important for Liverpool, in the next few years. They are, and it's the quicker we get them embedded, the better. I'm sorry, yeah, but and I wanted to see Frimpong make an impression, and Kirk is, but it does feel like there are starting full backs with the two I mentioned there a few minutes ago. Wirtz, I think, should be in our starting lineup. I actually would prefer him out on the left of the three up front. He only played last night there, but I just think he's too good of a player to not play. But look, it's only a matter of time before I think he picks it up. Katika has been brilliant. Like, he's a starter, and Isaac, yeah, it's. I mean, it'll be hard for Isaac to get back in the team. He needs to get up and running. He needs to get his fitness up, his sharpness up, and then get momentum. And it doesn't seem to be. Like he hadn't got a pre-season. Then he got up to scratch, or so we thought, and then he's injured again. This is a bit of a stop and start for him at the moment. But look, I guess he's young enough. He's 25. He's going to get time. So, yeah. But it's very important these new players start to embed into this team. Now, I don't know if this keeps probably get boring, this interview, but I'll watch it for the next couple of minutes and see what's been said.
Obviously, it's difficult for a defender already to have a player in front of you that will go anywhere. So he played outstanding also in defending. I think he was outstanding. Hugo is a handful. He keeps running, keeps going, and runs in behind in his feet. Technical, very good. Georgie, obviously, in absence of Ali. It's just keep going, find your way into the team, and whenever you play, be important. And if you're not, then be important off the pitch. And I think the players have settled in my eyes, perfectly. Maybe you have to ask them yourself, but I think in my eyes, perfectly. But obviously, we all get judged what you do on the pitch. And step by step, we'll get them.
I think one disappointment from me, but I think you could have won the game by a lot more goals tonight.
I think we have a goalkeeper.
Would you see that as a disappointment? But you should have scored 3 or 4 more goals.
Sometimes you have to hold your hand up, and Courtois was.
You're happy with 1-0, but I think.
Yeah, well, you can make it easier, but you have a goalkeeper against you. That was outstanding, and I think it gave me a bit of a feeling that we had in Paris when we lost the final as well. But he was outstanding today again, and we found a way, and now we move on.
Good, Mum.
Sadly, we're being asked to let you go, but thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
That's pretty much it. But anyways, we'll just finish up on that. Yeah, I think that I've only started doing this YouTube thing the start of the season, and as I said, I swore to myself I'd do it for the year, definitely, for the season. And I think a lot of fans around the country, around the world, do have their ups and downs and their questions, but you just don't see it. You just don't see it, because they're not on YouTube. I come on, and like the last couple of videos, but like a lot of people are concerned. Sometimes I feel, maybe am I one of them lads who's over the top and stuff? And I don't think so. I don't think, looking back at my videos here, was Salah playing well? No. Were we playing good football? No. Was Slot team selections a bit dodgy at times? I felt, but look, that's minor. I'm not bothered about that. Was I concerned after the Palace game? Now, I know it was the League Cup and he played a different team, but I just felt he put himself under a lot of pressure going into the Villa game because of the fact that we were beaten soundly enough at Palace. Yes, Klopp has done younger teams before, but we were going well on other fronts. I just thought it was a bit of a risk take with that. Now it turned out okay. We beat Villa and we're out of the League Cup. Fair enough, but there was times there, and there's times I actually thought, and I don't think anybody can dispute this, that Chiesa should have started a couple of Premier League games and he didn't. That's kind of a bit, that's not fair either, like on him. But that was my concerns as a video. Now, on my extreme, I don't think so. Is there more extreme fans out there? Probably. Would you call them true Liverpool fans? I'd still say, yeah, they probably are, but they're just probably a bit more impulsive and angry at the point where they'll probably come out and say something stupid, which is obviously not right, but it happens. People are like, I mean, all these professional footballers and all these pundits, you know, they do spout the good game and they're real good at, you know, the right thing and all that, but let's be realistic about it. Look into their own personal lives and look into the stuff they have done maybe and they apologise for. We're human beings. And it's worse when, though, I think when people are being talked down to because they say something that they shouldn't have said or whatever, or they say things online or that. Nobody's perfect. All these players and pundits, you know, we could all tell a few things about them, let's be real. And I know for a fact, and you're codding yourself, when them cameras go off, they're saying a lot of things that people will be upset about. They're just playing in front of the cameras. And that's not saying that there's nothing wrong with them, because I'd be doing the same. But I mean, let's not kid ourselves into thinking that all these people are real do-gooders and they're perfect people. They're not. And none of us are perfect. But anyways, that's probably gone on a bit too much. But anyways, yeah, I'm brilliant. Liverpool last night, brilliant against Aston Villa. Have we turned a corner? It looked like we have, but, and I know City's no easy task, but if we beat City the weekend, you know, I'd be very, very confident and I would be delighted. I'd be singing Slot's praises again. I'd be doing it all. But that's part of being a football fan. I never wanted him out. I never wanted Salah. Even when Salah wasn't playing, I said, but in fact, there should have come a time where, you know, that he could have been took off in games, and that was a bit worrying because I felt we were down to 10 men at times. So anyways, you got the gist of it all. Right, we'll be talking at the weekend.